High on the stone walls of a 14th century prison, a medieval mason steps backward, slips, and drops towards the solid street below. A Dominican friar walking by hears the cry. He looks up, points his hand towards the sky, and the falling man halts completely. He hangs suspended, entirely motionless in midair. How does a simple man with no ropes, pulleys, or technological tools of any kind possess the power to simply override gravity? Vincent's command over the physical world was the outward expression of a hidden supernatural authority. Long before he was catching falling workers, young Vincent was an ordinary boy growing up in Valencia, Spain. He had a natural drive for play, gathering his friends around to enthusiastically preach his own childhood sermons. That early devotion quickly translated into deep compassion. When he was just 6 years old, a friend suffered a dangerous, painful wound on his neck. Vincent gently kissed the injury, and the wound vanished entirely. As he grew, he adopted a rigorous, invisible discipline. He committed to strict fasting every Wednesday and Friday, spending long hours in quiet meditation on the Passion of Christ. The public miracles he performed later in life were the direct result of these small, invisible seeds of childhood discipline and kindness. By age 49, Vincent's voice was nearly silenced, and while trying to heal the divided church at the papal court at Avignon, Vincent fell severely ill, hovering on the edge of death. As he lay in his bed, the room flooded with light. Jesus Christ appeared before him, accompanied by Saint Dominic and Saint Francis. Christ reached out and physically touched Vincent on the cheek, instantly curing his illness. He then handed Vincent a massive directive: leave the politics of the court and preach penance to the entire world. Accepting this grueling mission reoriented Vincent's life from the halls of power to the open roads of Europe, where he began his work as the angel of judgment. The first of his quiet virtues was humility. Vincent was heavily recruited by the most powerful men in Europe. The Pope himself attempted to elevate him to bishop and then to cardinal, titles that guaranteed immense wealth, vast lands, and political dominance. Vincent rejected all of it. He chose to remain a traveling friar, wearing a rough habit and sleeping on a bed of straw rather than resting on a throne. Choosing a straw floor over a palace ensured that Vincent's life matched the poverty he preached, removing any barrier to hypocrisy between his words and his listeners. His second superpower was zeal. Vincent refused to ride a horse, viewing it as an unnecessary luxury. Instead, he walked on foot across the diverse, rugged terrain of Western Europe for 20 long years. He consistently drew crowds of up to 80,000 people. Without any modern amplification, his voice reached the very edges of these massive outdoor gatherings. Even more astonishing, he spoke his native Valencian dialect, yet French, Italian, German, and English listeners all heard his sermons clearly in their own native languages. Zeal is an active, fiery love. It pushed Vincent to physically overcome the normal limits of human endurance to share the truth with anyone willing to listen. Which brings us back to the frozen mason dangling in the sky. Vincent had the power to stop the fall, but he refused to finish the miracle on his own authority. He left the man suspended in midair and ran back to his monastery. He located his prior and explicitly asked for permission to save the man's life. Only after his human superior approved the request did Vincent return to the street. This is obedience. It ensures that miraculous power is always chained to God's order. By submitting to his superior, Vincent completely destroyed any trace of human pride. Armed with official permission, Vincent returns. He gives the command, and the suspended worker gently floats the rest of the way to the ground, landing safely. Acts like this cemented his historical identity as the angel of judgment, a man authorized by heaven to wake up a sleeping world. Vincent's incredible outward mastery of nature was powered exclusively by his inward submission to God. You don't have to freeze people in midair to wield these same powers today. Humility simply means putting others first and rejecting the constant need to show off. Zeal means jumping into your daily duties, your chores, and your prayers with intense joy and energy, rather than dragging your feet. And obedience means immediately following the instructions of your parents and teachers without complaint. Mastering these 3 quiet virtues builds the kind of character that can restore a community and lead others. God needs messengers everywhere. If you practice these 3 things, you can be God's helper too. Saint Vincent Ferrer, pray for us.
Every saint started small, just like me, just like you.